Hi friends, I'm Karen, and this short flow sequence is all about mobilizing your spine. Now, you don't need any props to do this particular flow, but if you enjoy working with blocks to lengthen your arms or blankets to cushion body parts, then grab those now. Let's get to work. Come and stand at the top of your mat. In mountain pose, take a moment to just settle into your practice. Reach your arms overhead. Fill your body with air. Exhale and let your arms drop. Do that one more time. Reach the arms overhead, reach like you mean it, and then on an exhale sigh, let your arms drop to your sides. Bend your knees and bounce a little bit. Start to helicopter your arms side to side. I call these noodle arms or spaghetti arms, inviting a gentle twist into the body, connecting you a little bit more to how you're using your breath. Let that simmer down and return back to a mountain pose. Reach your arms overhead and interlace them behind your head. Now keep most of your body in mountain pose, but draw your elbows in, press your head against your hands and vice versa, and tuck your chin down and roll the top part of your spine into a fold. And then come back to an upright position. Lean back into your hands now, lifting your face, maybe finding a little bit of a back bend, but root your heels into the floor and keep reaching your chest up and your tail down. Come back to standing. Reach your arms overhead. Grab your right forearm and do a side bend to the left. Make sure you're breathing how you need to breathe to support you in all of these movements. Come back to upright, grab your left forearm and reach to the right. Bring yourself back to an upright position, reach both arms up and let them fall to your sides. Bend your knees and find that bounce again. Give me some spaghetti arms. Come back to a centered position, hands on hips, and sit in a chair pose. This time, allow your spine to be neutral and long. Reach it long from either end, tail moving down and back, head, chest moving up and forward. Reach your arms overhead. Hinge at the hips and touch the ground in front of you. Let your head be heavy, work with gravity. Bring your fingertips to your shin bones, lengthen your spine halfway. And maybe using a breath rhythm, move from releasing into a forward fold, letting your head be heavy, and then returning to that half fold so that we get a little bit of a spinal wave here. In your own time, do that one more time. Part way up, and then fold and rest. Root into your heels, make your leg and hip muscles strong. Transfer your hands to your hips. Keep your spine nice and long and come up to standing. Reach your arms overhead, reach nice and long. Maybe exhale, sigh as you let your arms drop to your sides. Tuck your chin in towards your chest. Round your shoulders forward. Contract your abdominals. Create that rounded curve in the spine, and then bend your knees. Roll all the way down to the floor. Keep using your abdominals to support you here. Once you've reached that forward hinge fold, press into your heels, hug your feet isometrically towards each other, roll all the way up using the strength of your body to support you. Reach your arms overhead. Interlace them behind your head, elbows in, lean into your hands and look up. Come back to standing and let your arms drop to your sides. Bend your knees and send your knees, thighs, hips forward, belly forward, but keep your chin tucked. Come back up to standing. Reach towards your right side, right fingertips in the direction of the floor. When you can reach no further, bend your knees and continue journeying towards the ground in a side roll down. And then imagine there's a rope above you that you can pull yourself up with. Let that top arm drape over your head and gently move your head to the other side, letting that opposite shoulder lower down. Bring yourself back to an upright position and do that side roll down to the left. Side bend followed by a knee bend that allows you to go all the way down to the floor. I like to reach my right arm up, grab that invisible rope, pull yourself up, use that same arm to drape across the top of your head. Gently stretch the side of the neck. Bring yourself to an upright position, lower that arm. Shift your weight to your right foot. Take a step back with your left. Not too big of a step, find a bounce. Reach your arms out to the side. Keep your lower body exactly as it is, but invite a twist to your mid, back, shoulders. Take a breath here. And then come back to face forward. Touch the ground in front of you. Lift that back thigh really high. Hug the feet towards each other. Reach the arms by the hips. Hang out there in this bowed position in your low lunge for another breath. Reach your arms forward for one more breath. Reach your arms and torso overhead. Let your arms drop to your sides and step your way to the front of your mat. Shift your weight over to your left foot and take a medium step back with your right. Find that bounce in this high lunge. And then reach your arms out to the side and twist towards the left. You might wrap that left hip down a bit more or find more height underneath your right leg. Take another breath here. Untwist to face forward. Reach the arms overhead and then bow over that front leg. Touch the ground with both hands and gently hug your feet towards each other to gather strength in the lower body. Then take your hands away from the ground and reach your spine long. One more breath here. Maybe you add reaching the arms forward to create a little bit more challenge. And then bring the torso upright and step your way to the front of your mat. Reach the arms overhead and sit in a chair. Hinge forward and touch the floor in front of you. Come up partway. Touch the ground with your hands and step back with your left leg into a lunge. Reach your arms overhead. Take 2 bows over that front leg, waving the spine as you do. And then bring your right hand to your right hip, left hand to the floor. Pivot your chest, shoulders open, maybe reach that top arm up towards the ceiling. Gently hug that bottom hand in the direction of your back foot to create a little bit more support through the left side of your waist. Take that top arm alongside your ear. And then pivot to face the ground and step your way to the front of your mat. Let yourself hang in a relaxed fold. Dig into your heels, tone your legs and hips, and roll up to standing. Bend the knees and start to move the thighs forward, hips forward, belly forward, chin still tucked. Come back up to standing. Reach the arms overhead and sit in a chair. Let your spine be intentionally long here. Hinge forward, touch the ground. Come up partway. Shift your weight to your left foot and step back with your right. Reach the arms overhead. Take 2 bows over that front leg. Bring your left hand to your hip. Reach with that right arm as you hinge down, touch the floor, maybe add a twist. Feel free to send that left arm up. Push the ground with the hand that's in contact with the ground. If you need a little extra support, also hug that bottom hand towards your foot. Untwist. This time, move your way back into a downward dog. In this downward dog, either stay here for a number of breaths or feel free to explore some spinal rolling in that downward dog. So you might come forward, plank shape, and then undulate your way back into that downward dog. Sit into one hip and then the other. Take one more moment here. And then lower your knees down onto the floor. Walk your hands forward, come into a knee plank. Take a peek over your right shoulder. Take a peek over your left shoulder. Back to center, claw the mat, bend the elbows, lower down. Hands by your side and nose floating above the ground. Lift up into a locust. Long, gradual curve. Soften down to the floor. Lift up into a locust again. Soften down. This time, hands on either side of the chest. Lift up into a cobra that's supported by the power of your arms. Soften down to the ground, roll through the knees, and come into a child's pose. A long exhalation here. And then round forward into a hands and knees position. Cat-cow your spine several times. And then send your right foot forward so that you're in a half kneeling position, torso upright. Arms out to the side, twist towards the right. Untwist and face forward. Reach the arms overhead, grab your left forearm, and reach to the right. Bring yourself back through center. Open the arms at shoulder height again. Retwist. This time, hinge down towards the floor to touch it. Other arm up towards the ceiling, curl the back toes underneath, lift that leg up into the air. Pivot to face the ground, step your way back into a downward dog. Feel free to find that waviness in your spine again, or maybe just a hinge, very straightforward between a plank and a down dog. Lower your knees down to the ground. Instead of cat-cow, think of waving side to side, shoulder towards hip, finding a sway in the body. One more time on each side. Back to a hands and knees position, left leg forward. Bring your torso up, move your arms out to the side. Twist towards the left. Always helpful if you can push the ground away to create just a little bit more support and strength in the lower body. Untwist. Reach the arms overhead, grab your right forearm and reach to the left. Bring yourself upright, arms open again, retwist. Hinge and touch the ground with your right fingertips, left arm up. Curl the back toes underneath, lift the back leg up. Reach your heel away from your head. Turn to face the ground, step back into a down dog. Walk your feet towards the front of your mat, hang in that forward fold. Get heavier in your heels, tone your legs and hips, and roll up to standing. Use those abdominals. Once you're standing, interlace your hands behind your head, elbows in, sit in a chair, but press your head into your hands and create more of a curve in the spine. Then hinge forward, touch the ground, and let your head be heavy. Come up partway. Shift your weight to your right foot, step back with your left. Reach the arms overhead. Pivot that back heel to the ground and move the arms to shoulder height. Drop your right hip and lift your left one. And then bring the hips to a level place. Lower the right hip, lift the left, level place. This time, lean in the direction of that front leg, anchoring with your right arm, lift the left arm up. Take the top arm alongside your ear. Push into that back foot so you can come back to a warrior two. Reach the right arm up and reach with your left fingertips towards the back of your mat. Come back into a side angle. Start to lift the heel as you pivot your chest downwards, touch the ground in front of you, and step back into a down dog. Push the ground away and enjoy the feeling of reaching your hips away from the floor. Lower your knees down and bring the rest of your body down to the ground. Arms by your side come into a locust. Soften towards the floor. Hands on either side of your chest. Lift up into a cobra, not too high. Look over your right shoulder, and then look over your left. Back to center, lower down, roll your way into some sort of crouchy down dog, just long enough so you can walk to the front. And hang no. Come up far away. Touch the ground, transfer your weight to your left foot, sit back with your leg. Reach your arms overhead. Pivot the back heel down, open it up into a warrior two. Then see if you can drop that front hip down and retract that thigh bone. And then recover so that the hips are at a similar height. Do that a few more times. This next time, as you drop that left hip, lean on that front leg with your arm and reach the other arm up. Take in as much breath as you need as you take that arm alongside your ear. Press into that back foot in particular. Keep those legs and hips strong. Come up into a warrior two. Front arm comes up, and it's like you're just out of reach of something that you want sneakily with that back arm. Back into a side angle. Lift the back heel, pivot downwards, hands on the ground, step back, downward dog. Walk your feet in towards the front of your mat. Bring your hands to your hips, and this time long spine, come up to standing. And the last thing we'll do is a series of spinal rolls like how we began. Tuck the chin, roll the shoulders, curve the spine, bend the knees, descend towards the ground. Use your legs and hip muscles to build this shape all the way up to a mountain pose. Then bend the knees, send the legs forward, hips forward, belly forward. Maybe this time you look up. But keep those legs and hips really, really strong. Recover to standing. Let your bowling ball head be heavy towards your right shoulder, side bend, add the knees, right arm reaches down, left arm reaches up, come up to standing. Let that arm drop. Left side, bowling ball head, lead with the head, that's the hard part. Bend the knees, all the way down. Use whatever breath you need to come back up to standing. Lower the arm. Separate the feet a little bit. Find a gentle spaghetti arms from side to side. You might start off really big. You might close your eyes so that you can focus inward a little bit more. And then gradually let those spaghetti arms move less and less. Feel free to add in whatever other wiggles are going to be pleasing to you. And then spend a moment or two centering in mountain pose at the top of your mat. Thanks very much for joining me in this spine flow. Take care, and until the next time.